I looked at him in the eyes, and his eyes just rolled in the back of his head. It's like darted over there and started like CPR and all this stuff on him. People in the gym panicked. Nobody knew what was going on. So what happened when the cops showed up? They took me outside, like out back, behind the building, and they held me there for like 2 hours. So I kept looking at him like, "Hey man, like help me out here." Like,
can you talk to these guys and let them know like this is a sport?
Shut your lips. It's time for a brand new episode of What We Talking Jit. Say what? We talking jit. Say what? We talking jit. Say what? We talking jit. Said it's time for a brand new episode of Talking Jit.
but like early on to kind of trauma dump here, early on in my like blue belt, like relatively new at supremacy. In our gym, like you line up in rank order, and it usually starts with the highest ranks get to pick their training partners for the rounds or who they're going to spar, whatever.
Yeah.
And this one day I got to actually pick, and I'm like towards the end of the line at this point. And I picked my buddy Eric. We called him Captain, and he was due for a purple belt. Like he was like on board any day now whenever legs decided to remember. You know, I don't know how their logic goes until his payment was overdue or something. I don't know. But I picked the role with this guy, and I liked Captain a lot, but he was like pretty big dude. Was like a what is it, sports, not psychologist, but like sport, I don't know, he did like
Kinesiology.
something, like he helped build strong human beings, like
Yeah.
sports athlete guy. But anyway, he actually has this funny YouTube video on where he's like just destroying Andre Galvo's like training regimen with his personal trainer, and we're like, dude, chill. But I got to pick the role with him, man, and I'm like fighting his guard, and he just like stopped fighting and let me pass, and I landed in side control. I'm like, you all right, man? And he's like, yeah, I was just being stupid. I'm like, okay. So we start rolling again. I'm like, you want to start over? Like that was a freebie. Like, and he's like, nah, we can keep going. I'm like, all right. So I start like, he's a big dude, so I start holding down side control, and he's like fighting it, and then he's like, hold on a second, and then I said okay, and I like kind of sat back, and I looked at him, and he like looked like he was about to cough, and he sat up a little bit and gave like a big cough, and then like I looked at him in the eyes, and his eyes just rolled in the back of his head, and he like dropped back to the mat and started like, you know, when someone gets put to sleep, sometimes they shake.
Yeah, like seize up.
Yeah, he started doing that, and I was like, I didn't choke him. Like I wasn't even like climbing up side control. Like I was just like on like trying to get to whatever. He's a big dude. So I was like confused, but so I like lifted his legs for a second, and then I'm like, I don't know, something ain't right. So I look over at Professor, and I'm like, hey, you know, Captain. And then this other guy at my gym, he was like an ex-army medic. He like shout out to him, and he was like darted over there and started like CPR and all this stuff on him. And then people in the gym panicked. Nobody knew what was going on. So what happened was whoever called 911 said my friends were choking each other. And so all of a sudden a shit ton of cops show up. So I'm sitting here concerned about my buddy, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm trying to, and I felt like, kind of like you said, like how you said with your belt, like you felt like it was your job to ride that belt out and represent. I felt like this is happening to me. It's my job to stay
look
by
after
him, look after him, like stick it out, like. But when the cops showed up, they took me outside, like out back behind the building, and they held me there for like 2 hours. So I'm out there for like 2 hours, and they keep passing me on to like, I'm telling you, like 8 different cops, and every single one of them walks up with a notepad. All right,
all trying to get the right story and see if your shit changes. Yeah.
They're like, so you were choking them, and then what happened? I said, there was no choke. Like I was like, we were like, and then I'm getting like 2 or 3 cents in my story, and they're passing me on. So what happened when you're choking them? And I'm like, there was no choke. Like I don't want that on any paperwork. There was no choke.
Yeah.
And so I'm out there getting like basically interrogated for 2 hours. And meanwhile, he's inside, and I have no idea of his medical status or anything. Like, I don't know if he's dead. or alive or like
Yeah.
I was being optimistic. Like I'm like, they've probably revived him by now. He's got to be
Y-
up. And
Yeah.
I kept poking my head in and trying to get it in the door. The other crazy coincidence was one of the guys from our gym was like going through all this stuff to become a cop. And that was his
Wow.
first night on the job. And that was one of his first calls was to come there.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I kept looking at him like, hey man, like help me out here. Like
Can you talk to these guys and let them know like this
let him
is
know.
a sport?
Yeah, and like so I mean eventually like he didn't make it. He passed. And yeah, and it was interesting to see. And like I'm gonna be like silver lining on this. It was kind of interesting to see how different people handle like those losses, right? Like we literally had like I was like trying to take it on the chin and see it
Be
out.
strong for
Be
everybody.
be
Yeah.
strong and show like, okay, this is handed. Like I've got to be able to take this. I can't run from it. There's other guys in the corner who are crying. There's other people who are straight panic mode. There's other people who are like, like on it. And it was just like an interesting thing, but I think it made like a lot of us a lot closer and
Yeah.
in like a silver lining type way. And then we found out he had a heart condition for a long time. And he was basically given the option of like a surgery and living for X amount of years or just being a ticking time bomb. And he said, I'm a ticking time bomb. I go when I go. And that's when he went. But I mean, like with that ultimatum, dude, he died on the mat doing something he loved.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking badass.
That's it.
I mean,
I mean, it's not good that he died, but that's what.
it pushes me.
Yeah.
Like
I don't want to go out like shriveled up, pissing
Yeah.
myself, shitting myself.
a burden on your family.
Yeah. I don't want that. I don't want that for them. And I think as how terrible of an event that is for you and for you to be able to talk through it, that's important, right?
Mhm.
And it's not your fault. It's health, and that's what makes jujitsu so strange, right? Is it's literally a 65-year-old retired guy rolling with like a 17-year-old pothead, right? And like they're the best of friends.
Yeah.
They try to drown me. I can swim upstream so profoundly. I can stay calm in a dire situation. I'm at it every day, no time for a vacation. And I smell blood in the water. Everything I do, yeah, I do it for my daughters. Now I'm gonna shut your lips. It's time for a brand new episode of What? We Talking Jit. Say what? We talking Jit. Say what? We talking Jit. Say what? We talking Jit. Said it's time for a brand new episode of Talking Jit.